Sorry, it's the last episode of 11 through 20. Next thing you know is going to be the legit quits. All the rage quits, all the angry people from the past, the present, and hopefully I can get some live ones in the future. And remember, all you gotta do is keep us liking, subscribing, and do all that. Hit us up at New CCC. This is me versus fellow admin. You've seen him before. He's been my partner. He's been my opponent, Ellie. We were just testing teams, but it was still pretty intense. So let's jump straight in. And he has that nice ass hat. My hat doesn't look that good. That's his Avalog, shiny as you would expect from Ellie. You know, he's an all shiny guy. This is Fortress. You remember her from the Sisters of the Traveling Walls. She hasn't had that most exposure besides that. So he uses Curse. I use Stealth Rocks. It's odd that Fortress is actually faster than another Pokemon. The Pokemon with like 0 speed is faster. I use Toxic. He uses Avalanche. I don't know if he was trying to actually break me down or just to get rid of the sturdy aspect. Either way, I think I was pretty good. He withdraws Avalog, or Avulug, or Avalanche, I don't really know how to say it, and sends in his shiny Sableye. You know that thing that gave me so much trouble during the last battle with Ellie? I use my Toxic Spikes. So now anything else that comes in, gonna have kind of a problem. His Sableye has leftovers. I assume it's all defensive. He uses Taunt, which Taunt on a setup Pokemon means I'm either just gonna get all struggled up, or I gotta switch out. Let's see what I do. Oh yeah, now I remember what I do. I switch out. I don't really want to waste Fortress. I send in Magmortar, because I know what he was going to do. He was going to go for Will-O-Wisp, which he did. And Will-O-Wisp doesn't affect Magmortar. I don't know if it's because he's made of fire, or because he's a fire type, or because Will-O-Wisp only uses a burn, which hurts the attack, not special attack. So even with the taunt, well, I was going to use Confuse Ray. He helped me evolve that Magmortar, so he probably saw the Confuse Ray on it. So, because of the taunt, I couldn't use Confuse Ray. I decided to use something else. A little thing called Fire Blast. Shoot out my cannon hands. And it does a lot of damage on Aggron. He uses his Aggronite, which, for Ellie not to have any other Mega Evolutions, it actually makes sense. Looks kind of like a Samurai. Too bad Samurai armor ain't enough to stop Fire Blast. So down goes Aggron. And Magmortar's taunt wore off. He sends in Porygon 2, which is also a wall. And is also shiny. I mean, Ellie gets like every shiny Pokemon. But Toxic Spikes kicks in. He uses Trace, which gives him Flame Body, which means I can no longer touch him unless I want to get burned. So, I had this genius idea of sending in Shuckle. The simple turtle bug thingy from Gen 2. It's highly defensive, terrible health, but don't hate because Shuckle can get it done in the ring now. Even with that Toxic. He uses Ice Beam. But Shuckle just eats that up. I use Encore for a reason. Guess why? Guess why? Guess why? Because Shuckle's gonna set something up. I don't want to ruin the story, but he's going to. Toxic Spikes are tearing down Porygon 2. But Toxic's also doing its damage to Shuckle. But Shuckle's good. Shuckle toughs it out. So next thing you know, I send in Raichu. Only because I had not used Raichu before successfully. So he's stuck in Ice Beam. I know what you're thinking. You could have sent in Magmortar. You should have sent in Magmortar. I was going to, but Raichu had not been used yet. Also, I had not yet seen what Volt Tackle looks like. So I wanted to see what Volt Tackle looked like. He uses Ice Beam, which Raichu just barely survived. I don't even know how. And if that was toxic, that Porygon 2 would have been done. Too bad he's just regularly poisoned. I used Dig because I was thinking I was going to let the poison kill him out. But now he's switching to Avalugg. Alright, Avalugg. You know what? We already been over that. I don't know how to say it. Let's not go back to the past. So I used Dig. Well, I knew he would switch into Avalugg or Avalugg or whatever. Somebody needs to nickname that thing fast. A universal nickname like Shell Shocker is for Blastoids. But Raichu kills itself with the Rocky Helmet. I don't like how Raichu faints. It's so over dramatic. Toxic is doing its damage to Avalugg. Actually, I think I just said it right. So I send in Fortress to wall it. Fortress uses Protect. He's going to go for Recover. Because Ellie just had to stall it out. Just had to. Ugh. So it restores his health. But every time he uses Recover, that Toxic just gets worse and worse. I take out Fortress. Guess who I sent in? Yep, the Fire type. Magmortar. Not to go ahead and get it over with, but only because I knew that Toxic was gonna hurt it. So remember that Sableye that gave me so much trouble in me and Ellie's last encounter? Well, let's see how it handles Magmortar. See, I learned something. This Sableye can handle defensive hits all day, every day, Monday through Sunday, and twice on the weekends. So, with the Toxic on it already, and with a little bit of help from Stone Edge, I kind of forced a switch. Not really, but really. I should have saw that coming and should have hit like Thunder or something, but I wasn't really feeling it. Greninja gets poisoned too. I use Flamethrower. Only because since with the Choice Scarf, Fire Blast isn't as accurate and I didn't even want to chance it. If I would have stayed in, I could have hit another Flamethrower and Greninja would have been dead on that turn. But I didn't because I know Ellie's is Protein, so he could have switched into something that was very dangerous. But he predicts my switch and goes for Dark Pulse. And that does a hefty amount of damage on a wall. But thanks to my Citrus Berry, I'm looking good, I'm looking clean. So, I use my Toxic. Toxic does what not Toxic. Toxic Spikes does what it's supposed to do. Then I use Protect. I actually wait out for the death. He uses Dark Pulse again. And he's done. Oh, no. He's not done. I went for the double Protect. It did not work. He uses Dark Pulse. And you saw how much damage the first Dark Pulse did. So guess how much the second Dark Pulse does. Yeah, it forces the feint. Too bad. Greninja has to come with me. Yeah, I walk a lonely road, but I don't walk the road of a loser by myself. He sends back in the A word. Who knows? Jesus Christ, I cannot say it worth anything. I send in my Umbreon. And there it goes. And you probably saw his health melt away. Yeah, those are called Stealth Rocks. Now I use Shadow Ball, trying to weaken its special defense. He uses Recover again. And Toxic just does what it's been doing. Taking that health away. I use Shadow Ball again. And I have not got a single special defense lower. Not a single one. That's aggravating. So I use it again. And this is the end of Avalugg. Nope. Recover. Ugh, see. How many turns we just wasted? How many Shadow Balls have you seen? But look how much damage Toxic has racked up. That was a good little bit. Maybe 10% right there. So, I use Shadow Ball again. He uses Recover again. It's gonna be like that for a while, guys. I'm sorry. And Toxic goes back to doing more and more damage. And I just use Dark Pulse, you know, get in a stab move while I can. And he uses Avalanche knowing that his recover has finally ran out. Avalanche didn't really do much. But I don't think it really was supposed to anyway. So, Avalok's done. That Toxic had just built up too much damage. Too much. So he sends out Porygon 2. This thing, dead upon entry. Stones had got him, and the poison had took him out too. So thanks, Raichu, for coming back to help a brother out. So, Stealth Rocks gets that Sableye too. I avoided the Will-O-Wisp, went for Dark Pulse, because I thought Dark Pulse was going to affect the ghost part of Sableye. It didn't really. He uses his leftovers. But good thing Toxic is just going to come back and bite him in the butt anyway, so that's good. So look at that little bit of health left. He uses Recover. Oh, the gems on his back are a different color. I never noticed that. I use Dark Pulse again. Get my leftovers up. He gets his leftovers up. But he gets his Toxic down, and I just staying around. So, with his leftovers, well, with him slowly bleeding to death, and it's inevitable now. I avoid a second Will-O-Wisp, go for another Dark Pulse, and you can probably guess what's going to happen right now. Go on, guess. The leftovers, then the Toxic, Silk Up. And Sableye's done. Yeah, go home, Sableye. I hate you, and I hope you know it. So he sends in Breloom. I think you can guess. What's gonna happen. That's a nice shiny Breloom too. I have one. And dang, just a one-hit. Well, not a one-hit KO. Just a knockout punch. Sure, Umbreon got up after the hit, but that was a sure knockout punch. I restore my HP with leftovers. He loses his HP with Toxic Spikes. So, yeah, that thing's gone. Regardless. I send him back Mortar. And he uses Mach Punch again. And that did a good, decent amount of damage. And he's hurt by poison. He uses Mach Punch again. But it doesn't really matter. There's no point in switching or doing anything. Because Breloom was done. Breloom was done no matter what. So bye-bye Breloom. Nice and shiny, but I think I like the green a little more than the red. So that's me versus my fellow admin in new CCC. Ellie Tenney. And if you want to, like, subscribe, do all that, hit us up. Always looking for new members, tournaments, giveaways. We're just that good. Catch you later.